Alright, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Kwadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And this is the brother Yashamai coming back at you with another news article through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. We want to be on the right side of history. Ubisoft partners with police to jail gamers for in-game speech. Now, this is more attacks on free speech and the type of society that we're getting ready to enter into. You won't be able to say particular things, and if you're caught saying particular things, because they're saying that it's going to be on video games, right? Because Rainbow Six and Assassin's Creed, they are both games that you can play on PC, Xbox, and I believe the PS4. Now, I remember way back in the year 2016 when the PS4, even though the PS4, I believe the PS4 came out maybe a year earlier than that, but I remember when the PS4 first came out, Sony was not allowed to listen in on or record, people's conversations over the internet. They couldn't just record, or listen in on people's conversations over the internet. Now, if you set up a fresh PS4 account, with a new email, etc., etc., if you ever wanted to set up a party, which a party on a PS4 is a place where multiple people can come together without having to be on the same game and basically chat. That's what a party is on the PS4. You set up a party on the PS4 and you can chat with your online friends. You can chat with people that you know in real life, people you met at your job, etc., etc. It's basically, party on the PS4 is a place where it is an online place where you can chat with people over the PS4 system. Now, if you have a fresh account and you're just setting up a party to chat with other people, before you can set up a party with other people, Sony is going to warn you that they have the right and the license. Basically, they're going to tell you that by setting up a party, you agree to Sony listening in on your conversations. So now, whenever you set up a party, now you have to worry about some foreigner or somebody that you don't know, or even a creep listening in on your conversations or over the party in your PS4. You could have a 7-year-old daughter, and she might have other friends around her age, female friends around her age, talking over the PS4, and they could be talking about their boyfriends, what they got planned for the day and shit. and some 30 or 40 year old, or some 27 year old, or whoever, some stranger could be listening in on your daughter's conversation. So there's no such thing as privacy anymore. Okay, your phones got cameras on them, your laptops got cameras on them. There's cameras even when you go, even when you leave your house. Okay, they have satellites up there, above the ozone layer of the earth, underneath the Van Allen equator's belt. Satellites. Okay, they have satellites up there already watching your every move the moment you leave your house. They got drones with cameras on them, high definitional cameras, recording everything that it flies past. Okay, so when you see a drone up in the sky, oh wow, that's cool. What is that flying object? It could be a drone with a built-in camera, in some cases a built-in X-ray camera, which can see through objects and see what you're doing inside your house. They got cameras inside of street lights. They have cameras in every grocery store now, cameras in every corner store. And all this came from what? A series of events or terrorist attacks, inside jobs that was done by the United States to justify, taking away the privacy of you people in exchange for further protection from the government. Okay? Just like 9/11. Before 9/11, right? You didn't hear about cameras inside of grocery stores. You never heard about cameras inside of department stores or corner stores, or in street lights. You never heard about that. But what happened after 9/11, which 9/11 was caused by the U.S. government. Nobody wants to talk about that, right? It was an inside job. But anyways, look it up. But anyways, after 9/11, right? What happened? People panicked. People was afraid that there could be a terrorist in their area with bombs strapped to them, right? Because that's the propaganda, that's the narrative that the U.S. government pushed in their national news. Because 9/11 was something that was broadcast nationally. So in the national news, they said, "Hey, look what's going on here." They're doing this and that and such, and this was done by the Arabs, and guard your children, guard your neighborhood, guard your house. If you see something, say something. So because of this narrative, because of this propaganda that the United States pushed in the news, right? They managed to convince people that they could be in danger at any time, and that there could be a boogeyman, a terrorist in their neighborhood. So you know what people demanded for? They demanded for more security. So you know what the U.S. government came with? Well, we got to set up more cameras. We got to put cameras in every store in order to watch for suspicious activity. And now look, now you got cameras in every grocery store. Well, it did not start off with every grocery store. It didn't start off with every grocery store. It started off with every major grocery store, like Kroger, Wegmans, Aldi's. Okay, every major department store, like Targets. Okay, Kmart, Circuit City. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Circuit City, but there used to be a place called Circuit City. They used to sell software like computers, TVs, speakers, stereo systems, okay, VCRs, DVD players, speakers for computers. You know, they even had a place called Sears. They used to have cameras in there. You see? You know? And then, you know, because of, you know, the crime rate, and you know, Jake don't know how to act. You know, Jake wanna loot and steal and commit murder and you know, stab people up and shit, and these different smaller businesses. Guess what? They came out and said, "Hey, look, we got to put cameras in there too." Now you got cameras in now you got cameras in these smaller department stores, like Targets. You know, the Burlington Coat Factory. Well, before the Burlington Coat Factory, it was called Value City. Yeah, it was called Value City. But then, you know, they went out of business, just like Sears and Circuit City. And then the Burlington, because Value City was a place where you could buy clothes at. That was like, Value City had several department stores, you know. Okay, originally, Value City was the original Best Buy. You know, a lot of people don't know that. You know, you could go to Value City to buy many things for a affordable price, from software to jewelry to you know, clothes, food, you know, shoes, different type of wares, you know. And then Value City went out of business, and then, you know, but Value City also had a separate department store for clothes. I remember because when I was living in Cincinnati, Ohio, okay, they had okay, when I was living in Cincinnati, Ohio, they had a clothing department store called Value City. Okay, but then that went out of business, and then, you know, the other Value City went out of business. Now you got a Best Buy, you got a Burlington Coat Factory, and all these places have cameras in them. Okay, restaurants, they now have cameras in them. You see what I mean? So in a process of time, people's privacies began to be taken away from them. You know, and instead of you people here in America doing proper research and, you know, looking into these different things that are going on, you decided to run with the narrative that the U.S. government fed you over their news media. And now look, you know, now there's cameras everywhere. So, you know, PS4, right? The reason why the PS4 started this narrative of listening in on people's conversations over the PS4 is because apparently somebody was bullied. Okay, somebody was bullied over the PS4. I mean, because come on, man. When you sign up for PSN, you understand that you're going to come across many different type of people from many different types of life. And the chances of you, you know, running into people who are toxic, you know, the chances of you running into people who are austere, people who are serious, people, you know, people who are not so, you know, nice guys, people who are not so friendly, you know, you're going to come across people who are toxic, who are trolls. I come across people who are toxic all the time on the PS4. But you see, what happened was, apparently there was this person, right? He was being a cyberbullied. I guess people was making fun of him and ha ha ha, you this, you that, you know, you fat, you got purple hair, you ain't got no life, you eat ice cream all day and sit in the house, you ain't got no life, blase blase, dilly dilly, shally shally, you know. So apparently this person killed himself. So now Sony says that, well, because of this narrative, now we have the right to listen in on people conversations in the party, you know. So this kingdom is finished through, okay. And Xbox, they've been doing the same thing. Come on, who do you think owns Microsoft? Okay, Bill Gates. Who does Bill Gates work for? The U.S. government. Okay, so you already know they're listening in on everybody's. They've been listening in on everybody's conversation over the Xbox. From when it was the Xbox 360, even up until the current Xbox, they've been listening in on people's conversations. Sony did not begin listening in on people's conversations until the PS4. Okay, so here it says Ubisoft, the company behind the Assassin's Creed and Rainbow Six franchise, has not only partnered with the Anti-Defamation League to fight hate in gaming, but is also now working with British police to jail gamers for their speech. So you see, they're looking to put gamers in jail based on what they say over game chat. Okay, so my first scripture is going to be Isaiah 10:1, because this is a unrighteous decree. Now, when you look up the word decree means a unrighteous law. No, the word decree means a law or a decision. So Isaiah 10:1, woe, destruction unto them that decide unrighteous laws or decisions, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed, because people should have the right to say whatever the fuck they want to say. But you see, this is Esau trying to play God all over again. Okay? This is the so-called elites trying to play God on earth. You know, they're trying to be like the Most High. But like it says in Ezekiel, the 28th chapter, you're not the Most High, you're a man. You bleed just like any other person on the planet bleeds. Okay? So you know more than a man and not the Most High, okay? The Most High don't bleed. Okay? He ain't human. Okay? He's a spirit. Okay? He's a spiritual being. Of course, he has a body like we do. He's brown skinned. He has woolly hair. Okay? The Heavenly Father don't bleed. But men here on earth bleed. Okay? So let us get Proverbs 29 and verse 2. Okay, Proverbs 29 verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Are the righteous are in authority? No. Because if the righteous were in authority, people would have the right to say what they want to say. As long as it ain't wicked. Because see, that's the thing with this society. There's particular things you can't say that's not even wicked. You know, like for an example, if you talking to somebody over the internet about the MOTB and you tell them what the MOTB is, they could probably lock you up for that shit. You know, if you're telling people over the internet not to take, you know, the juicy juice, the Capri Sun, if you're telling people not to take that shit over your game system, online game system chat, they could lock you up for that. You know, if you getting on somebody over the internet because he's a man and he got dreads, right? And then an argument break out, well, they could probably suspend your account. Call it cyberbullying. You see what I mean? But in the kingdom of heaven, people will be able to say whatever they want to say as long as it ain't wicked. You know, you won't be able to. You won't be allowed to say anything bad about Yahweh. You know, you won't be allowed to say anything bad about Yahweh or the angels. You know, you won't be able to blaspheme any of that. You see, but you can talk about whatever you want in the kingdom, as long as it ain't wicked. As long as your conversation is not about adultery or being a mo or eating unclean foods. As long as your conversation is not wicked in the kingdom of heaven, you'll be able to talk about what you want to talk about. So the righteous are not an authority right now, okay? There's particular things you cannot say, especially when it comes to YouTube. Okay? There's particular things on YouTube that you cannot say, or they'll remove your video. You see, you'll get flagged. So it says, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. You see, that's the problem. The wicked is in rulership and they need to be put down and put in chains. Okay, who's the wicked? Job chapter 9 verse 24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. What does it mean by the earth is given into the hands of the wicked? That means that the wicked has control over the whole entire earth. So who has control over the whole entire earth through their monetary banking system? The so-called elites who call themselves Rothschilds and Rockefellers. But with that, I'm going to say Shalom is on to the next one.